you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
Welcome to Animus Corner presents Unanimous Decision. And today, who we talking to, Bill?
Listen, Unanimous Decision. We got something new and improved for you guys. My boy's coming out from the ringside. He is Mr. Mamacita.
Who else?
Mr. All I Do Is Think of You.
Who else?
Mr. Spread My Wings.
Who else?
Listen, he's the first voice you hear on New Jack City. I got Jon Jon from the legendary R&B group Truth.
All right, I want a good, clean fight. Let's get it on.
All right, Jon Jon, we are honored. We are humbled. Thank you, man. We've been waiting on this day for it since you said yes. So, I know the video that you commented on was my reaction or our reaction to the Culture Tour concert, but we know it's a million YouTube videos out there. How did you stumble across us? How did you get us?
Well, YouTube is really something else, man. Like you can speak something. You can. Sometimes I don't. You know what? To be honest, these phones that we're dealing with nowadays, you can think something, not even speaking it, and then YouTube will pop up what you was thinking about. So I was thinking about some New Edition stuff, I guess, that day, and all of a sudden, there you guys were, and you guys were showing, some New Edition footage, and that's we always say if it had been for New Edition, wouldn't be no Troop. So all the time, they were always our biggest inspiration. Still is, still to this day, will always be.
And you bring up inspiration and you bring up New Edition, specifically to speak on Troop, right? If you had to pinpoint the beginning of Troop's origin story, right, Jon Jon, what moment is that for you?
I would say meeting up with the guy in my group, Rodney, him and Reggie and Rodney's mom, it's all of pretty much their idea of trying to put together a group, a 5-man group, and something to study after what New Edition has brought to the table in entertainment. And but in the beginning, I was always just into basketball. That was my thing. So it's kind of crazy about the similarities that some of us have with each other. Like I see myself in a lot of Michael because he's a basketball player and I play ball. I see myself as wanting to be that third lead singer like Ricky Bell was, what he brought to the table for New Edition. So it was a magical thing once we got a chance to really check out everything what they were doing, So it was just, it was just a great thing, man, to be a part of something that could actually to be a part of that as well.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. So quick question. It was intentional to follow the 5-man group from Jackson 5, New Edition. That was intentional for 5-man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Rodney's mom had a dream of her son being on stage with 4 of his friends. And she couldn't see the rest of the guys, but she couldn't see who they were, but she got up the next day and told him, put some guys together. I need you guys to go and get on this television show called Putting on the Hits. He thought that she was playing around, but she was really serious about it. Mm-hmm. And pretty much that's how it all came about. And then once myself and Steve had joined the group, we were just doing a whole bunch of New Edition songs together. Cool It Now, Count Me Out, A Little Bit of Love Is All It Takes. sometimes we would harmonize "Lost in Love." Sometimes we would sing Earth. We would go to a movie theater that was out here in Pasadena called the Academy Theater, and we would act like we was walking down the stairs, being like New Edition, singing Earth Angel.
Okay.
You know, we was something else, man. We was actually calling ourselves, you know, the New Edition on the West Coast.
And putting on the hits, I mean, that's a little bit before my time. So
I remember it.
So that's like and you guys were there. So I mean, is that like a equivalent to like a Star Search, American Idol type thing? Like if you had to put it in present day, like how would you explain that?
Well, it was really different, that type of show, because it was a lip sync show.
Mhm.
Okay.
And of course it was like, you know, you would win a prize if you won like first place or whatever. They had a prize and everything for that. And that's really pretty much what it was. But yes, you know, to our surprise, there was a guy by the name of Greg Parade that saw the show and he liked the dance, and you know, he was wanting to know if he could go ahead and find those guys and see what he could do with them.
Yeah.
And pretty much that's how everything came about.
That's the beginning. That's the beginning of the origin story.
Yeah, because I think at that time also too, a lot of labels were looking to put together their own type of New Edition group. So yeah, I guess to a lot of labels, it kind of made sense to be able to follow that format because New Edition was so good at it, you know. And I mean, they just paved the way for everybody, you know. So yeah.
That's what's up. So when did you realize that Troop made it? At what point did you say to yourself, "Man, we made it, bros"?
Man, I well, for starters, I used to be an extra. I was an extra in this movie called Coming to America, and I was with a friend of mine.
This movie,
yeah,
this movie,
yeah, exactly.
Like it's not a classic.
Right. Come on now, you know.
Okay.
I mean, just that. I think I was an extra. I used to go up to Paramount. I was a good 2 to 4 months. It seemed like that's how it was. We were up there every day, and I just remember always had a boom box. I always carried a radio with me. So I remember the first time I got the demo to our song Mamacita, and I wasn't going to play it until I got up to the site and then plug it up or whatever to play it. But a friend of mine I was riding with on the bus, we're going up to Paramount, you know, to do some filming. And he told me, he said, "Man, play it right now." I was like, "Right now?" He said, "Play it right now."
Pre-game.
And the congas, you know, how the congas start off and everything. I mean, immediately when the beat dropped, you could see just a bunch of heads on the bus just doing this. And his name was Procton Barnell. He said, look at all of the people moving. He said, "It's a hit, bro. This is a smash."
Okay.
Now that's nice to have.
Billboard #1 R&R.
So and that's when you knew. That's when you knew.
That's when I knew. Yeah, that's when I knew. I got a chance even to be on that set. I talked to Arsenio I talked to Arsenio, and I met a few people. I met John Amos, Sherry Hadley, Vanessa Bell Calloway.
Calloway, yes, sir.
Her, man, let me see. James, Darth Vader, James Earl Jones.
Yes,
I mean, it was awesome, man. It was just awesome. But I remember talking to Arsenio and telling him about our group. And at that time, we didn't have a name. I said, "But we coming pretty soon, man." I said, "We just got our deal with Atlantic Records. We just finished doing some songs with, Chucky Booker and Gerald Levert, and he was just like okay, you can't name any other R&B group that's performed 7 times on the Arsenio Hall show."
He was a fan.
We got that record.
Hold on.
Yeah, he was a fan.
Certain
That's
people
a-
don't know that, sir. 7 times. People don't know that now.
and
Yeah,
and
true.
back then, Arsenio was the spot. So I mean, that was kind of like a rite of passage. So you don't take those 7 times for granted. So back then, number one, you were already affirmed at a young age because you won contests with the lip syncing show that you were on.
Mhm.
You got a chance to be an extra in Paramount. And I think being around the industry, it does make a difference for you to kind of know you could stomp with the big dogs. And Arsenio Hall was a big deal back then. That was like, if you were an artist, that's you could go on Arsenio, and that's how record labels basically broke you. So with those tools that we talk about back then, it seems like that's the golden era of like Black music, right? You guys had talent shows, radio, radio actually meant something, right? The ear meant something because you played your music on the bus. Without basically today we have social media, so it's a different monster. But this wasn't the case with your era. You guys had a lot of different avenues to where you had to showcase your talent and get your names out there. Is there any other avenues like that I'm missing? You mentioned Arsenio Hall show, talent shows and things like that. What else tools did you guys have to get your name out there?
Man, there was Soul Train. There was Regis and Kathy Lee, David Letterman. There was Fritz Coleman. He had a television show himself. He did the weather for Channel NBC, Channel 4 News. He had his own show. What else that was there? We did CNN. Oh wow. What else did we do?
A lot of TV.
yeah, I guess so.
So
with TV.
And without social media, like if you didn't read to me that record about the 7 times Arsenio, I mean, I seen the performances on YouTube, and I still wouldn't have been able to quantify it that no other group did that. So we don't have those stories. So a lot of times you guys are the only mouthpieces that'll give us those stories. So without the benefit of social media, there's a lot of stories that fans aren't privy to when it comes to Troop. So you guys got a chance to tour with Boyz II Men, Brian McKnight, to name a few, Keith Sweat, Silk. What's your fondest memory when it came to touring with those guys?
Just a lot of support from one another. Wanted just to give the fans a really good show. Out of all of the acts that were there. We hung out a lot. We went to after parties. It's a lot of fun, man. We did a lot of stuff together out there on the road.
Good stuff.
Okay. We didn't hit this. How did y'all come up with the name Troop? Because you said originally you didn't have a name. You didn't have the name first.
Yes, we did not have the name at I think that was, let me see. When I go all the way back, I believe Marlon Jackson was Arsenio Hall's first performance on his show. So let me see. I remember Mamacita was about to get released, and we had literally like 72 hours to come up with a name, and that's all we had. 72 hours to come up with one name that would be able to stand the test of time and for us to be able to be out here as entertainers, because that's what really makes you or break you. It's your name. And if you don't have a name, then who are they going to call you? You know what I mean? So it was like really detrimental to us at that time. We were like, wow, what's happening? So it was a TV show called F Troop back in the day. Like I think the 50s and 60s, it was a series called F Troop. And we started there. And Steve was just like, hey, John, man, you dance with these guys, who you do choreography with, you do street dances with. You guys got this, gave us this dance called Troop. Let's just be Troop. And I was like, yeah, it works. And everybody agreed to it.
Just that quick.
And we were sitting with this guy. Yeah, I mean, it was just that fast, and everybody just said, "Yeah, that'll work." And then we were in New Orleans on our promotional tour. We was with this guy named Henry Jefferson,
Mm-hmm.
and he told us, he said, "Man, you guys need to stand for something." We were like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Y'all letters need to stand for something." And we were sitting at this restaurant out there, and Alan, Alan came up with it. Total respect of other people, and
I'm just finding out
gelled.
troop was an acronym. I never knew that. You knew that, Bill?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. I missed the periods between the letters. So
I mean, you got to think like I'm a little older than you, bro. So like I said, these guys are yeah, man, like so
you got it.
Yeah. So when we have you talked about the new edition.
Oh yeah.
New edition is my Jackson 5. I'm sure
Come
the
on,
Jackson,
man.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
So
oh yeah.
I'm sure Jackson 5 is there because you did say you wanted the 5-man group, new edition 5-man group. Were there any other groups that inspired y'all?
Well, we liked a lot of people, like, you got Force MDs. I mean, Force MDs. It was, man, you talking about
tender love.
It's kind of weird, man, because I think that our choreography kind of complements one another because they flip, they do street dances, they do, they do hip hop, they do, man. So, I mean, I think the only thing that was like really missing from the Force MDs is that they weren't signed to a major label. They were signed to an independent company. Tommy Boy is an independent company. They're not a major label like Atlantic Records or Warner Brothers or MCA or, they're not a major name label.
Did they have
indie label?
Did they have a lot of joint ventures back then? Because I think a lot of talent was on independents though. So even Atlantic wasn't Atlantic that we know today, So I mean, how was that like? Because I felt like a lot of the groups that we grew up on, Bill and I, it was the major footprints were independent labels. Like it feels like there weren't a lot of joint venture deals back then.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It didn't really seem that there were a lot of joint ventures back then. And at that time, independent companies, they were like really moving,
Yeah.
They were signing acts and they had whatever money that they had to be able to market and promote that artist. They were moving, they were actually doing it. So I think what's happened is that, when you're major, then you have more money to do with. So I think that's kind of what kind of blew the independent companies out of the water.
Yep.
Because these major labels came in, with, mad backing, mad distribution and big time distribution.
A machine.
All over the world, And so when you're able to put records all over the world and then you have the right team to be able to market and promote that stuff out there, then of course it's going to go. It's going to sell.
Yeah.
So
and that brings
these yeah, go ahead.
No, we're kind of talking about it already because around that time there was an influx of like a lot of male R&B groups. Like you said, some of them went.
Yes.
Some of them didn't, just because, like you said, a lot of them didn't have a machine behind them. So, were there any friendly rivalries, like groups that you remember, whether they're unsung or not?
Friendly rivalry. I don't really think so. I think it was just like everybody really admired everyone's talent.
I can see that.
And what they brought to the table. I mean, so everybody was pretty much gung ho to meet one another.
Yeah,
I can see that.
We would but what's really mind blowing is that once you've done something to a lot of people that the people that have seen you, the way that they respond when they see you is like sometimes it's like really amazing. Like we had to do a BET flashback, and it was ourselves, Color Me Bad, and I believe Silk.
I remember.
And Silk, we see each other all the time. Those are our boys. And we come across Color Me Bad. When they saw us, it was like they were treating us like as if like we were New Edition or we were the Jacksons. It was like wow. It was like wow.
You always hear the stories of this song was supposed to be for this person or this was supposed to be for that, passed up, we took it. Did y'all have any songs that y'all passed up that went to other groups that you were like, bro, we dropped the ball on that one? Or did y'all pick up a song that was supposed to be for somebody else? And look, y'all took it and ran with it.
Well, I'm gonna say here's a story that a lot of people don't know about.
Okay.
But our company thought that we were too young to sing the song. But one of the songs that was presented to us was called "Don't Take It Personal" for our first album, and it was given to Jermaine, to record. So I don't know why, but labels, they do that, But look how big the song became. So could have been us.
And for those who, some people are known by one name. I hope people know who you're talking about. But for the ones who don't know the first name, I know who you're talking about.
Come on. Right.
You know what? Y'all look it up. Y'all figure out who he's talking about. I know who he's talking
we're not even going to say. Yeah, we're not even going to say that it's Michael's brother.
Okay, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
I said JJ. I helped you out.
Some people can't put two and two together.
Put it up on YouTube. There's they're moving out. So just to be clear, you're saying that was originally supposed to be your song, and and they said y'all was too young for it.
Yep.
And that's crazy because the lyrics seem, compared to what's out today, it seemed very innocent.
What?
Man, right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, crazy. Man, listen. Back then we had some songs. 1990. I know you remember 1990.
Wow.
Right? 1990,
wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So 1990, I was going, I was a freshman. 1990, going into my 10th grade year. I pulled up some songs from 1990. Right? Rhythm Nation dropped. I'm gonna just say Janet. You already said Jermaine. I'll say Janet.
Yep.
Figure it out.
Right.
Name all the
Figure it out.
Right.
Figure it out. We got Poison.
Figure it out.
We got Poison, right? My.
What else we got?
Vision of Love. Right?
Man.
Secret Garden. Feels good.
It was rolling.
Right? Rub You the Right Way. I think Make You Sweat came out that year.
Hold On, In Vogue.
Yep.
Hold On, In Vogue. Secret Garden.
Hold On, In Vogue. Yeah, Secret Garden.
Can't Touch This. MC
Yeah.
Hammer. And these are all Billboard chart toppers. Bill, who else was on that list?
Vanilla Ice was up there. Ice Baby.
Yeah.
Public Enemy.
Yeah. Yep.
Public Enemy was up there. But this is the crazy thing about all this, Jon Jon. The reason I'm naming all these names, all these songs, right? All these were number ones into 1990, right?
Every last one of them, every last song you named.
What do y'all got to do with that?
Something that was like quite really amazing. Like the second back-to-back number one song that actually outdid MC Hammer's You Can't Touch This. Which the crazy ironic thing about that, both of the songs are Motown records.
Mm-hmm.
So look how special that was.
It's all in the family right now.
It's all in the family. So that was All I Do Is Think of You that actually outdid. It took Hammer's You Can't Touch This from the number one spot.
It took who?
MC Hammer.
MC Hammer from the top spot.
And then the number one spot.
I don't think, but see, a lot of people don't realize how big MC Hammer was, right? You took down You Can't Touch This. Come on,
that's a monster.
What?
And that's
he was a monster.
Was that All I Do Is Think of You, or was that Spread My Wings that took it down?
All I do is think.
All I think of you.
And then you said, because not only that, so that y'all have All I Do Is Think of You, and y'all have Spread My Wings the same.
Ran it right back.
Both number and Spread My Wings.
yeah. Right. Ran it right back.
Run it right back.
And it's 2 weeks.
I like that. Run it right back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks. I may be getting this wrong, but it's 2 weeks for y'all spent 2 weeks at number one for Spread My Wings or All I Do. All right,
yeah,
there we go. So here's the thing: it's not an easy feat to get a number one record on Billboard, but you're doing,
especially with all of those artists.
Exactly. That's the point I want the audience to realize. This isn't an easy feat when you consider the competition. So your degree of difficulty is through the roof. You're going up against everything that we hear on classic radio today. Feels Good, Tony, Vision of Love. We done went through the whole list. Rhythm Nation.
We talking
and you guys are coming out on top.
Wow.
So,
man. Man.
Go ahead, Bill.
No, I'm just gonna say
that's how you that's how you know that you have, even before Tupac's, most biggest album. That's how you know we have all eyes on you.
Mm-hmm.
When your song hit 5 or number one, everybody looking at you like, whoa.
It's pressure time. Yep.
So yeah, it's deep.
Yep.
It's deep.
And we're talking about All I Do Is Think of You, right? I'm sorry. I just gotta pull it out the sky, bro. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That's a remake.
No, I get it. By the Jackson 5, man. Their last album, Moving Violation. It was my idea for us to redo that song. I always thought that song was like something truly special, even when I first heard it in 1975. My mother's niece was taking us to see her son to be in a play, and he played this detective. His name is Ray Williams. Chip Fields directed that play, and Chip Fields, that's who we all of the guys really came, grow up to love her. She came Tootie on the Facts of Life, Kim Fields. And so that was my first time ever getting a chance to meet Kim Fields at that time when that song first came out.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what was going on at that time. It was bananas. It was crazy, man. Man, that song did something to me, like, seriously, like, I just couldn't get that song out of me, and I couldn't stop thinking about her at that time. That was 1975, bro.
Well, not just you. You're not the only one who couldn't get it out your system, because that song, a lot of people have attempted to recreate the magic you guys did. Once again, it's a cover. You typically don't see.
It's hard. It's hard.
Rarely do you see covers outperforming the original.
Yes.
So, and the fact that you guys grew up idolizing J5, right? You take their song, and you make it your own.
You take it better than them.
Exactly.
We're talking about the Jackson. I'm talking about Michael Jackson.
I mean,
that's not easy to do.
Bro, come on now.
I love the song, but I don't think of Jackson 5 when I hear it. So that's
no,
that's kudos
at
to
all.
you guys.
That's kudos, man. Major kudos to y'all.
Thanks, man.
How did
Thanks, man. Much
so
appreciated.
to get y'all a song on billboards, like, is that something that everybody was striving to do?
Wait, say that one more time.
So you guys got Billboard, right? You were up there.
Right, yeah.
Was that
Oh, yeah.
was that the point of where groups and solo artists, is that where they wanted to get to?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, without a doubt, you want to be charted on Billboard because Billboard is like the Bible of magazines and music. So, which means that everybody knows that magazine. Everybody knows, if you're in the industry, you know about the Billboard magazine, the Billboard charts and all of that stuff. You know all about it. So if you have something in that, it's another way of having all eyes on you as well too.
Okay.
So, but to actually for that song to come out and do what it did was like really special because even the true story behind that is that at the time, Spread My Wings was the single. But at nighttime, some of these radio stations was playing All I Do Is Think of You.
It's quite a story.
And we would go and do these tours and everything. It was just a madhouse how we would perform that song and it wasn't even released. And the audience would go crazy. It wasn't even a single. It was just a song, I guess, at that time, the Attitude album was doing really good in sales, so a lot of people had it. So that was one of the songs that people was going to listen to. So when we would go ahead and do that song on stage before the record was even released, it was crazy.
And
so we had to go ahead and release that record. We had to go ahead and release it.
You had to. So it wasn't even that wasn't intentional.
Wasn't even intentional. No. It was just something that the radio station was like, okay, you guys, this record is being played like crazy. Y'all come home from this tour, do another video. We're gonna put it out and voila, 2 back-to-back number ones.
It's out of your hands at that point.
Hey man.
So when you think about Jon, when you think about,
I remember telling Steve, I said, look, man, I said, you have the relationship with Sylvia. Talk to her and tell her that song needs to be on our album. We have to do All I Do Is Think of You by the Jackson 5. We have to redo this record. I said, man, if we do it, man, it's going to be life-changing.
And there it is.
And it still is, still today. Yeah.
And it another part of when you look at Troop sound, a lot of people will admit it's an eclectic sound, meaning All I Do Is Think of You, Spread My Wings. I don't necessarily know what box to put that in from a genre perspective. You guys are typically, New Jack Swing was the popular sound around that time, right? Do you guys consider yourself a New Jack Swing group?
Not necessarily a New Jack Swing group. We had a couple of songs that were released as singles, and they had the New Jack flair, I'm Not Soup, and then you would have the remix of That's My Attitude that Teddy Riley did, and he actually had remixed at least Attitude 9 times.
He told us that.
So, I mean,
he told us
his
that.
foot in that, he put his foot all the way in that. I mean, I think after hearing that, all the mix that he did, I can actually see his toes in that. I mean, yeah, he killed it.
Man, you throwing these names around like these are just regular. These are household names. So hey, you guys are coming up in the era where you have the opportunity to follow up some of your idols and even cover their songs, like MJ. You're students to New Edition. You're in the studio with Teddy Riley.
Teddy Riley, man, that's crazy.
For me, it's hard to believe you guys don't leave with some type of inspiration from being behind the scenes at some point. And I know when it comes to Troop's fingerprints, like on R&B today, coming out of that camp with some of your teammates, right? Some of your team members, they're responsible for writing credits of songs that we hear on the radio today. Do you care to share some writing credits that came out of Troop's camp?
Man, my bro Steve, he just he went, man, when Troop was, when we were on our hiatus and taking our break, he teamed up with these two cats, Harvey Mason Jr., Damon Thomas, and they did some wonderful stuff. I mean, Dream Girl soundtrack.
Yep.
Man, Fantasia, Ruben Studdard, B2K, Omarion, Marcus Houston, Chris Brown, and Jordan Sparks with the song No Air.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, man.
And it's to me, that's the I had to I found that out late in the game. So I think that's a part that you guys deserve respect from that, to where I feel like that's all influence. Like, you guys still have your fingerprints on the industry today. So look up some of those writing credits he just talked about, Steve, and No Air, Chris Breezy,
Marion.
That's amazing.
Chris Brown, Take You Down.
Take You Down. That's my joint.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Marcus Houston, Marcus Houston, Naked.
What? That's them?
Stutter, Why You Want to?
I ain't know that.
Yeah, Ruben Stutter, Why You Want to Change Me?
Okay.
Invincible for Fantasia, or either is that for Fantasia or Jennifer Hudson?
I know he did something with Jennifer Hudson for sure.
He got some stuff for Jennifer as well too. Yep. I mean, yeah. As a matter of fact, he actually did a song with Aretha Franklin.
Didn't know that.
Aretha?
Did a song on Aretha Franklin.
Come on, man. That's the queen, man.
Riri.
That's the queen.
Man. Yeah.
I need to back up a little bit real quick. There was a scene in this movie called New Jack City. Some of y'all people don't know y'all know the movie, but y'all don't know where I'm going with this. I know Barry does, because we talked about this. I know you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
There was a group of brothers that was standing around singing in that song. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a guy by the name of Gerald Levert was there as well.
But the ones who said it all, it was you would care to talk about that, Jon? You want to talk about that?
Man, yes. Well, okay. Let me just start it from here. We was nervous as a mug. Man, it was crazy. We're out there in New York, and we're out there in New York, and we're in the studio. Well, the first thing what has happened, they took us into this filming room where they showed us Levert do what they had did first, and we were like, "What did we just see? What did we just hear?"
So they filmed it back. They filmed it backwards.
Yeah, they showed us what Levert had did first.
Oh,
we were like, "What did we just see? What did we just hear?" It was crazy. So it took us a while to come up with what we came up with, because that was haunting us on what Gerald, Mark, and Sean was doing. It was like, oh my God. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. We was like, what are we going to do here? I mean, it was bananas. So it took us a minute to come up with what we came up with. It did.
And, how you follow that?
I think Rodney first. Yeah, it was crazy. It was one of those. And Rodney started it first. He was just like, living. And he said, and
Yep,
just
yep.
kept going. And everybody started singing. It just all came together. It came together just like that. But the funny thing about it is that the first thing that we started off with was Stevie Wonder's.
Yep.
We started with that first.
Okay.
Like, nah, that's not gonna happen. That's
Yeah.
not working. So we just, Rodney started singing that part, and everybody else joined in, and that's how it all basically came together.
That's
Okay.
But it never would, it never would have dawned on me in a million years that when the movie first comes on, my voice is right there.
And you're
the New Jersey City. I could not believe that. Like, whoa! That was bananas.
And to y'all credit, that's the reason why people try to like push you in that New Jack Swing movement, because
New Jack,
you're front and center into the iconic soundtrack related to New Jack City. So I mean, I every time, without fail, if that movie's on TV, I'm gonna sit and watch it in its entirety. But when it gets to the Carter takeover and that montage, that medley, that Living for the City and the OJs, For the Love of Money, I'm sitting down and I'm tuned in. So that's an iconic movement right there.
We
call it the Black Scarface.
It is. That's
what it is. That's what it is.
I saw that movie before Scarface, so it is my Scarface.
Yep, that's what it is to me. Any artists, producers, writers that you guys wanted to collab with that y'all didn't get a chance to?
Wow.
I mean, you did get Teddy
I
Riley.
think it would have been really cool for us to, I think, to be honest.
Technically, you got Babyface too. He directed a video, I heard.
Yeah. Babyface did the remix of Sweet November, the video version.
Yeah.
So I don't know, really. I mean, you
touched everything. Yeah.
I mean, see, Chucky Booker is actually our Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So it's like, so he's that in that category. And then then you got Babyface and you got Teddy Riley. So it's like, I don't know. The doors may be closed, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you have legendary people like Quincy Jones and stuff like that, and I think that would have been cool to be on one of his albums or something like that. When he was doing stuff like Back on the Block and the albums that he's done, he had a whole bunch of features on. I think that would have been something really good for us to do.
He probably looked at y'all as a rivalry, since y'all got y'all song up on that #1 list with his song Secret Garden on there. So he probably like, man.
You're right.
He probably like, man, they ain't trying to put them boys up on the number. That's what's up. Hey, I got a good one, because we talked about some people, man, and a lot of people go unnoticed, right? Who was an underrated singer? And I'm gonna put the quotations around singer. So matter of fact, let me say singer, because there's a difference between the singer and the singer. Give me, an underrated singer from that people might not know, like, because they maybe didn't get a chance to show everything. But who was a underrated singer from that time period?
To me, who I thought that should have sold just like buku millions of records, Donny Hathaway. Donny Hathaway should have sold. Man, he's probably done that with, like after his death, but it should have been while he was alive, between Donny Hathaway, probably Marvin Gaye,
voices, man.
Well, and I know I just threw out a couple of jewels, but those guys really meant a lot, in R&B music history alone. just on how, social content of their music, what they brought to the table. Someday we'll all be free. I mean, come on, man. That's wow. Then you have like wow, a song for you. Donnie was he was special, man. He
Yeah,
was
vocally
really
he shut
special.
it down.
And then his tone.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. See, now, okay, we're about to talk about something that's kind of really, really crazy deep now, because I love Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, but there's a live version that Donny Hathaway did. Insane.
Okay.
Insane.
Okay.
He did it at the Troubadour. What's Going On? Donny Hathaway. If you have not heard that, you gotta hear that. Man, this dude, man.
I have to look that up.
Like you just said, yeah.
He playing around. I just added it to my playlist.
Yeah. Okay.
That whole actually live CD is like really, really good. It's really good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so when you look at Troop, a lot of success. We even asked the question, okay, like you said, the doors closed because you guys done worked with everybody that you grew up idolizing. What would you say was the highlight of your career?
I think our highlight was finally, what you guys probably don't even remember this, getting a chance to do a tribute to the Temptations on a TV show called Celebrate the Soul of American Music, where it was us and Atlantic Star. We got a chance to pay tribute to the Temptations. It was awesome, man. It was really, really, I think that was a really big highlight of our lives right there.
Okay.
I think it really was, because it was something that I know of that a lot of people didn't see. And I remember being at home one day and taking my phone and recording our performance of it, and I posted it. Man, you talk about viral. It went crazy. It was really crazy because a lot of people did not get a chance to see that. Back then, we didn't have social media the way that it was, the way that it is now. So it was, that was really that. I think what I did that time by putting that out was putting a lot of eyes on that didn't get a chance to see. So that was a pretty high moment for us. I think that the flashback that we had also did on BET.
That's the
All I Do Is Think of You. I think that was a pretty big highlight because we've never performed on an award show like that. So that was pretty big for us. That was pretty big.
To be real with you, I think that was at a time where a lot of people started tuning out with the BET Awards, and that whole thing when they bought those old school groups back.
Come on, man.
That brought a lot of people back home.
Yeah.
So I just remember that's the year where people are like, oh, we need to start watching this freak every year now. So I remember that night. I remember they had a lot of y'all on there, and I thought that was an iconic moment as well.
Yeah. And I remember Jon Jon, our conversation that we had a few weeks ago. That I thought you were going to mention this story you told me as the highlight of another guy. We talked about the brother, we talked about the sister, but you told me about a guy named Mike. And if I'd have heard that,
that was my highlight. All
right.
That's mine by myself. Yeah, because I met Michael by myself.
Okay.
Steve got a chance to meet him as well too. Steve had met him, a few years later, at a studio in New York. That's where Steve met Michael. I met Michael at Gardner Elementary School when they put his name on the auditorium outside of the building. That was the day that I met Michael.
Okay.
And that was really, man, that was, because I couldn't even believe that I was even in the same room as this man, me being able to even to get in there inside of the room where he was at, it was amazing. And he was about maybe 8 rows down from me,
Mhm.
and he walks up to me and he tilts his glasses down. He looks me right in my eyes and he says, "Jon Jon, Truth is amazing." He said, "You guys are incredible. My family loves you. We look at you guys' music videos all the time. What can you,
Okay, what'd you say?
That's
yeah,
that's a stamp of approval from the greatest.
I don't care what anybody
It's a
say
wrap
from that
after
point.
that.
Man, listen.
for real, man.
Okay.
For real.
Man.
When you look at your era, and I know you mentioned you posted something online and it was able to get a lot of eyes on it. I feel like that's becoming more and more easy for acts coming out of that late 80s, early 90s era, to where the present day audience, we want to hear stories about you guys. We want to hear the music. So it's like that golden age of R&B. Essence is celebrating that sound. Versus is starting to celebrate that sound, and the radio. Like anytime I'm going to pick up my kids from school around that daytime area, it's nothing but late 80s, early 90s, right? So I feel like a lot of groups, especially Troop, are primed to where all eyes are on you guys. So it basically, the world is your oyster, right? So what's next for you personally to do with that attention, and also Troop collectively to keep the momentum going?
I think for us, it's just to get as much as work as we can as possible to perform and to be in front of the audience, and to still give people good stage presence with energy and good music. As individually, some of us have solo projects out there. So we're doing, we're trying to keep that legacy alive, but still giving people good music. And we basically want to go ahead and just keep the legacy alive, and just having R&B music out there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I got this little snippet of, I want you to give me 1 or 2 words only, just 1 or 2 words only. I'm gonna name an artist or group. Just give me 1 or 2 words. That's all I need. All right. All right. Ready for the world.
Let me tell you a story about Ready for No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know what you want me to do, but I got, man, let me tell you something, bro.
Tell me. Let's go.
1987, my grand night, Disneyland. My grand night, I had Cameo.
Word up.
Climax.
Okay. Men all pause.
Yeah.
Bobby Brown.
Bobby
Brown.
I mean.
And Ready for the World.
That's a nice
man. Let me tell you something. Joyce Irby from Climax and Dallas Austin did My Love, My Music, and I Will Always Love You. So for me to be able to be in the studio with Joyce to tell her my story about, girl, you did my grand night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There were people who I was with telling me, you're watching the show, but you're really watching the show not like everybody else, picking up something from it. So it was like the people that was there with me at my grand night, they saw that within me. So for me to be able to hang out and to know Bobby Brown, to be friends with him, tell this man, you did my grand night, bro. And to we've done shows with Ready for the World. We've done a few concerts with Ready for the World. So it was like mind blowing, to talk to them, to let them know, man, y'all did my grand night, man. If for us to be working with them on, doing shows, that was awesome to me, man. So when you say Ready for the World, yeah, man. Yeah. Yes, sir. And I would say, the comparison between, like, I would say three bands basically, but more 2 of Mint Condition and Ready for the World. That really does it. I was going to say Tony, but Ready for the World and Mint Condition kind of like basically seals the deal for me.
Okay.
Their well, Tony's in my iPop as well too, but sometimes I just I definitely gotta go to Ready. Ready is like, man, Ready for the World, man. At that time, I was still staying with my parents, and I hadn't graduated yet from high school.
Mm-hmm.
We used to always play Ready for the World's music all the time. I mean, Ready for the World was just that band that we just loved. They were awesome, man. Awesome. Here I am, and there you are, man. Ready for the world, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
A lot
of yes, sir.
I don't want to go too far out, but because I know you know these people. Full Force.
Ooh, man.
Talk to me.
True Clowns. It will keep you in stitches every day, all day.
That's why they was in the comments.
Man, really cool people. Seeing their faces off, their harmonies is crazy, man. Wow. Their harmonies will make you turn and just like, did I just hear what I thought I heard? Like, man, they harmonies ring. The Full Force off the chain.
I think they're
and very talented as well too. They talented too. Very talented too. Even doing other things outside of music, because we did a show with them in San Diego, and we didn't have a person to do our lights. Oleg and Lou did our lights. 2 people, man.
So we talking about Bowleg and Lou from Full Force did y'all lights. That's crazy.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I got one more to go. I'm sorry. But he mentioned this person, and I don't think people realize how great. I know he's a bassist too. But I don't think people realize how great this man is, Chucky Booker.
Our big brother. Story was, we were trying to get Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis to do some stuff with us on our first album, but the price that they were charging was too high. So Sylvia, the lady who signed us to Atlantic, she said, "No, trust me, I have somebody for you guys. If you guys want that type of sound," she's like, "I got one person that can do all of that." And we were like, "Huh? Really?" And she introduced us. This guy was 19 years old when he did My Heart. He played all of the instruments. He reproduced the song that this guy named Art wrote called "She's My Favorite Girl." He reproduced that, gave it that Minneapolis flair and all of that, and then there's an extended 12-inch mix to that people won't probably even be able to hear that Chucky did. He kills it on the guitar at the end.
Yes, sir.
He kills it.
Mm-hmm.
Princes it all the way out. I mean, yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's a musician, and it does,
yes,
like it really doesn't help that his godfather is Barry White. So
say what?
That's
Wait
his
a minute.
godfather. That's his godfather.
Well, all right. So music runs in it.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So this kind of transitions us to because the stuff that you're telling us, I would not have known if I would not have, talked to you or asked you certain questions and so forth. And we have this this section that we call My 2 Cents. Basically is when we have other, like, people in the audience, they just leave their 2 cents. So basically leave your comments. But for you, give us an artist or a group who you think that they should tell their story just as you did. who you think we should interview next?
My man, Stevie D, Force of D's. Let me see. Quite a few people who I could, try to go ahead and turn on to you guys.
Oh man.
I can get in contact with Bilal from the Boys.
Doing it with the B. I know.
Yeah. That's my extended family. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's out here still in LA. Hakeem is in Africa.
Yeah.
Kyrie, I believe, is out here as well. And I think Taj is in Atlanta, I think.
Okay.
I think he's in Atlanta.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Man. Barry, you got something?
No, I just like the fact that even though I collectively look at y'all as units anyway, groups from that era, you just kind of admitted that your worlds are intertwined, like
Absolutely.
The Boys being your extended family, and the fact that you brought up when we asked about friendly rivalries, you mentioned, or groups that inspire, you said you guys complimented Force MDs well, and the fact that their name came up in 2 cents, I feel like that's poetic. But True, Jon Jon, you guys are represented in every old school mix that I have when it comes to R&B, and it's truly a pleasure to actually get to borrow some of your time to explain your story. Once again, you feel like you know a lot about a person when you hear their voice on a monthly basis, but it is different hearing it rather than singing, you speaking your truth. So we appreciate it. Bill and I appreciate you. And True, you guys have made a lot of memories in people's ears. And I just thank you for just kind of personifying that with this interview. Bill, definitely. That's all that I got.
I just want to say this. I did fail to mention True from their initial concert culture tour, and Jon Jon responded and caught me off guard. And I can tell you guys, I immediately went and followed him on Instagram, sent him a DM. Guys, it's a humbling experience when someone who you grew up listening to, messages you back, and we can have a back and forth dialogue, and immediately gave me a telephone number to call the next day. And Barry and I, we thought, which was going to end up being maybe a 5-minute phone call, turned into almost an hour-long phone call. And it wasn't scripted. It wasn't. And I think we more so ended the phone call because, I know we want to respect your time. Because we were just going on and on and on and on and on. And I just really appreciate you giving us this time, this effort, this energy, your time, just everything. We really, truly appreciate. I don't think words can really express how much we do appreciate this interview and this time. We really do.
Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys, man. Like, that really means a lot, and that, and it comes from the heart of you guys to tell me, about, the appreciation that you guys feel about our music and what we brought and what we've done in the music industry. So, and that's all we really wanted. We just wanted people to know that we were here too. So I thank you guys for, even for tuning into our material and checking us out all the time. That's huge. As Nate from Boyz II Men would say, you probably don't see me smiling, but on inside everything is jumping around. I'm so excited, man. So I really appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, Jon Jon.
We appreciate.
Tell the people where they could follow you.
You guys can anybody out there listening, you guys out there tuning in right now. You guys can check me out on Instagram at Jon Jon Harreld. You can look me up, you can email me, JONJOHN of truth at yahoo.com. Just check me out.
Hey, Bill, how could they support us?
You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, leave a comment, share our content, hit that notification bell so that when we upload any new videos, you are instantly notified. And please go to our Instagram and Twitter page and follow us. And in this corner, 1. That's the number 1. And in this corner, 1. Please.